Let us continue salt analysis. In the salt analysis, HNO4 structure we are seeing. Structure of HNO4. In the HNO4 we said hydrogen is bonding with oxygen. Okay. And one peroxy linkage is present. Nitrogen electronic configuration is helium 2s2 2p3. Helium 2s2 2p3. Sir. Now oxygen we have to give. Here oxygen we have to say. Oxygen bonding we have to say. So nitrogen is making 3 normal covalent bonds and 1 dative bond. Okay. Nitrogen makes 3 normal covalent bonds, 1 dative bond. Okay. So in HNO4, nitrogen we have written. This electron for dative bond will write. This electron for normal covalent bond. This electron for normal covalent bond. This electron for normal covalent bond. Okay. So nitrogen can make 1 dative bond and 3 normal covalent bonds. So normal covalent bonds means that may be single bond or pi bond, anything. So 4 oxygens are there in that HNO4. In that 4 oxygens, 2 oxygens are peroxy linkage. So how to give peroxy linkage in HNO4? Shall we give peroxy linkages like this? Shall we give peroxy linkages like this? It is one possibility. What is another possibility that we will see? Nitrogen. The peroxy linkage we can give like this. Here bond is there. Bond is there means that bond with hydrogen. It is one possibility. Okay. So in HNO4, nitrogen we have written as central atom, and one peroxy linkage is there. We said peroxy linkage means O single bond O. Okay. Sorry. That peroxy linkage O single bond O we have given like this. O single bond O we have given like this. Now oxygen we will take. Oxygen electronic configuration is helium 2s2 2p4. 2s2 2p4. 2p4 contains 4 electrons. 2s contains 2 electrons. Oxygen valency shell is having 4 electrons. Oxygen valency shell is there 6 electrons. Oxygen is having 2 unpaired electrons. So oxygen can make 2 normal covalent bonds, shall we say? Oxygen is having 2 unpaired electrons, therefore it is making 2 normal covalent bonds, shall we say? Oxygen is having 2 unpaired electrons. Oxygen is having 2 unpaired electrons, so oxygen can make 2 normal covalent bonds, shall we say? Okay. Here oxygen, 1 normal bond, another normal bond, 2 bonds for oxygen. For this oxygen, 1, 2, 2 bonds. For this oxygen, 2 bonds. For this oxygen, 2 bonds. Sorry, oxygen can make 2 normal covalent bonds because oxygen is having 2 unpaired electrons. Sorry. Here in this HNO4, one peroxy linkage we have given O single bond O is called peroxy linkage. We can give like this. Another possibility, peroxy linkage O single bond O we have given like this. Sir, out of these two, which is correct? How to elucidate the structure from spectroscopic studies? From spectroscopic studies only we can elucidate the structure. So from the spectroscopic studies, we can say this is possible, this is not possible. It is experimental result. Experimental result says it is correct, it is incorrect. Sir, why it is incorrect? That we will see. Why it is incorrect? That we will see. Here it is a ring. It is open. This ring is a three-membered ring. It is a three-membered ring. It is not it is open. Therefore, open will have less strain when compared to ring. Open will have less strain when ring is having higher strain. So strain is high, strain is low. Therefore, it is having higher stability when compared to this. Sorry. Then 3-membered, 4-membered, 5-membered, 6-membered you will see. Out of these, how the angle strain will be there? 3-membered ring, for example, cyclopropane. 4-membered ring, for example, cyclobutane. 5-membered ring, cyclopentane. 6-membered ring, cyclohexane. In these ring structures, angle strain will be there. How the angle strain will be there and how the stability will be there. That if we understand, then we can easily say why experimentally this is possible, not this one. That we can say easily. Experimental analysis, spectroscopic analysis says that this is possible, this is not. Okay. What is the reason that we will see? Now we will take cyclopropane. We will take cyclopropane structure. I am writing like this. Cyclopropane structure I am writing like this. Cyclopropane structure. Okay. This carbon is having 4 bonds. This carbon is having 4 bonds here. Therefore, this carbon is tetrahedral. For tetrahedral, the normal angle is 109 degree 28 minutes. 109 degree 28 minutes. Normal angle is 109 degree 28 minutes. Now say what is the angle here? What is the angle here? For tetrahedral, here carbon is having 4 single bonds. 4 single bonds means tetrahedral. Tetrahedral means normal angle is 109 degree 28 minutes. Isn't it? Now what is the bond? What is the bond angle here? What is the bond angle here? What is the bond angle? Shall we say 109 degree 28 minutes? Cyclopropane structure we can write even like this. Cyclopropane structure we can write even like this. It is cyclopropane. You know that. Now the question is, what is the bond angle here? What is the bond angle? What is the angle here? Shall we say 109 degree 28 minutes? 109 degree 28 minutes or less than 109 degree 28 minutes or greater than 109 degree 28 minutes? What value do you say? Sir, cyclopropane contains 3 carbon atoms. Cyclopropane contains 3 carbon atoms, 1 carbon at this corner, 1 carbon at this corner, 1 carbon at this corner. If you join these 3 corners, you are getting a triangle. Which triangle? Experiment says equilateral triangle. Why? Because here bond length, this bond length equal to this bond length equal to this bond length. Okay. Now see that this bond length equal to this bond length equal to this bond length. Therefore, it is a equilateral triangle. For equilateral triangle, what is the angle do you say? What is the angle possible? This angle, it is equilateral triangle. This angle will be how much do you say? You are saying that 60 degree. So you are saying that here angle equal to 60 degree. Now for tetrahedral, normal angle is 109 degree 28 minutes. But here angle is 60 degree. Sir, now we will take this one, we will take, and we will take this one. Here carbon atoms we will take. Here normal angle we will take it as 109 degree 28 minutes. The experimental angle we will take, experimental angle is 60 degree. Experimental angle is 60 degree. Sir, now this bond contains 2 electrons, this bond contains 2 electrons, this electron cloud repel each other. This electron cloud is having negative charge, this electron cloud is having negative charge. Between these two negative charges, between these two electron clouds, repulsion will be there. Due to repulsion, the species get a strain. Strain means stability will be low. Here also this bonding electrons and this bonding electrons repel each other. Due to that, this species is getting stability will be low. Now, how the extent of repulsion will be there in these two cases? How the extent of repulsion will be there? What is the extent of repulsion between these two bonds? What is the extent of repulsion between these two bonds with respect to angle, you say? How the repulsion will be there? What is the magnitude of repulsion between these two bonds when the angle is this much? It is normal, it is expectation. What is the repulsion between these two bonds when the angle is this much as per this experimental? It is a experimental bond angle. Now you say extent of repulsion between the bonds with respect to bond angles. Let us compare where it will be high. In first case, repulsion is greater, you are saying, in 60 degree. Okay. So you are saying that repulsion magnitude is high in here less. Therefore, here strain is more. Here strain is more. This strain is more because angle is less than expected. Angle is less than expected. Here you see that here strain is more because angle is less than expected. This strain is due to angle, therefore this strain is called angle strain. It is called angle strain. Okay. So have we got what is meant by angle strain? Sorry, you got meaning of angle strain. Now we will say, now we will go for cyclopropane, cyclobutane. Okay. Here in cyclopropane, the angle is 60 degree, you said. In cyclobutane, what is the angle, do you say? In cyclobutane, what is the angle? In cyclopropane, you said 60 degree. Okay. In cyclobutane, what is the angle? What is the angle, do you say? Sir, you are saying that 90 degree. Okay. Angle is 90 degree. Sorry, what is the experimental value? Experimental value is 88 degree. Why is it so? Later we will see. Okay. Now, here angle is 60 degree means it is less than normal value. Normal tetrahedral value is 109 degree 28 minutes. Normal tetrahedral value is 109 degree 28 minutes. This angle is less than normal, therefore here angle strain is present. This angle is less than, here 88 is less than normal tetrahedral angle, therefore here angle strain is present. Now you say angle strain in these two cases. Compare angle strain in these two cases. Which has higher angle strain? Which is having higher angle strain? Do you say first cyclopropane or second cyclobutane? Which is having higher angle strain? Or do you say they are equal? Angle strain, how it will be there? So you are saying that cyclopropane is having higher value. Okay. So that angle strain in cyclopropane is high because it is triangle. In cyclobutane, angle strain is less. What about in cyclopentane? In cyclopentane, CCC angle is 108 degree. 108 degree. In cyclohexane, okay, cyclohexane is there. Now you say, what is the CCC angle in cyclohexane? What is the bond angle between CC bond pairs in cyclohexane? What is the bond angle do you expect? What is the bond angle in cyclohexane? What is the value do you expect? Okay. So in cyclohexane, the bond angle is 109 degree 28 minutes. Therefore, what is the structure of cyclohexane? Cyclohexane structure will be planar or non-planar. all the carbon atoms in cyclohexane will be in one plane or in different planes? Will it be a planar or non-planar? In cyclopropane, all the carbon atoms will be in one plane. There is no other way. In cyclohexane, in the cyclopropane, all the carbon atoms will be in one plane. In cyclohexane, the CCC angle is 190 28 minutes. This indicates all the carbon atoms in cyclohexane will be in one plane or different plane. Okay. Tetrahedral structure. Therefore, the stable form of cyclohexane is a chair form. Chair form for cyclohexane. Now you say that among these, where angle strain will be highest and where angle strain will be least. Angle strain will be 0 for which? Angle strain will be 0 for which one? That means cyclohexane, or what do you say? Angle strain will be 0 for which one? In the cyclohexane, bond angle is 190 28 minutes. In which case angle strain will be 0. Sir. So what is angle strain? That we will see. What is angle strain? Here we will see. Angle strain means what we will see. In this cyclopropane, the bond angle is less than normal value. Due to that, it is getting strain. This strain is called angle strain. So angle strain is resulted due to change in angle from the normal value. Angle strain is due to change in angle from normal value. So now you say where angle strain will be highest out of these. Out of these, where angle strain will be highest? Sir, where angle strain will not be present, where angle strain is 0 out of these. Sir, that means you have not got clarity about angle strain. Sorry, you are saying fourth highest. Angle strain will be highest in cyclohexane. You are saying that angle strain will be highest in cyclohexane. Sorry. So we will discuss angle strain. What is meant by angle strain we will discuss. Now you are saying that cyclopropane angle strain will be highest. You are saying in first one angles. Okay. So you said correctly. Okay. So in the cyclopropane angle strain will be highest. In this one angle strain will be 0. That like that you are saying. Okay. Now we will go for a HNO4. We will go. Now you say that in HNO4 peroxy linkage is present. Peroxy linkage means O single bond O is present. Now experimentally the peroxy linkage like this possible, but not like this. But not like this. What is the reason? Have we got an idea? Okay. So peroxy linkage is this one, but not this one. Peroxy linkage is this, but not this. Okay. So we can remove this structure. We need not consider this one. Okay. So we are considering this structure. We will consider. We are considering this structure for HNO4. Okay. So we have given peroxy linkage. We have given, even we have given hydrogen also. So remaining 2 oxygens we have to say here. Remaining 2 oxygens we have to say. Okay. Rest of the 2 oxygens we will take. Rest of the 2 oxygens we have taken. So that in this HNO4, this nitrogen is having one peroxy linkage that we have given. Remaining 2 oxygens we have given. Nitrogen valency shell contains 5 electrons. Out of 5 electrons, 1 electron is going for bonding here. Here 2 electrons, here 2 electrons. Totally 5 electrons we have given. Nitrogen valency shell is having 5 electrons. This nitrogen can make a bond in what way? You see, nitrogen is having 2s2 and 2p3. Nitrogen is having 2s2 and 2p3. Okay, nitrogen is having 2s2 and 2p3. These three electrons will make a normal covalent bonds. These three electrons will make normal covalent bonds. These two electrons will make dative bond. Now you say, how the bonding will be there in with this oxygen and with this oxygen? How the bonding will be there? So here what bonding shall we give? Here what bonding shall we give? That you say. Sorry. Now we will take another oxygen. We'll take here one oxygen I have written. I will write another oxygen. Another oxygen is having 2s2, 2p4. Another oxygen. Hydrogen I will take. Hydrogen is having 1s1. That I have written 1s1. Now I will give the bonding. Bonding let us give. It is called one bond. It is another bond. It is one bond. Okay. Regarding this peroxy linkage we have given. So we have given this hydrogen, this oxygen, this nitrogen we have given. Okay, 2 oxygens over. Remaining 2 oxygens we will take. And we will take still more 2 oxygens. Okay. I will take another oxygen. For this oxygen, the electronic configuration is 2s2, 2p4, 2p4. One possibility of bonding is this. It is one possibility. Okay. Now we said one possibility is like this. That means this oxygen is making double bond with this nitrogen. This oxygen is making double bond with this nitrogen. So that possibility we are giving here. Okay, double bond we are giving. Double bond means one is sigma, another one is pi. One bond is sigma, another bond is pi. Okay. Next we will see. Next we will take another oxygen. We'll take another oxygen atom. For another oxygen atom, 2s2, 2p4. The 2p4 we will write like this against Hund's rule. We made this as vacant orbital. Now we will give the bonding. That bonding is dative bonding. Dative bonding like this. That dative bonding we have given here. So HNO4 structure is like this. In this HNO4 structure we have given. So in this HNO4, what is there? Peroxy linkage is present. One peroxide is present. One peroxy linkage is present in HNO4. Okay. Now the bonding we have given for nitrogen like this. Is it correct? It is incorrect. Why? Because we have to give hybrid orbitals for nitrogen. Hybrid orbitals. Therefore, with respect to hybrid orbitals, we have to say. So, we will give hybridization to nitrogen. So, to say hybridization, what we have to do, we will see. For nitrogen, this nitrogen is having how many sigma bonds you count it. This nitrogen is having how many sigma bonds you count it. 3 sigma bonds. 1, 2, 3. Then how many pi bonds count it? 1 pi bond. Then count lone pairs in the nitrogen. No lone pairs. Okay. For hybridization, consider sigma bonds and lone pair. Don't consider pi bond. To say hybridization, consider sigma bonds and lone pair. Don't consider pi bond. Pi bond is not formed from hybrid orbitals. Hybrid orbitals do not give pi bonding. Hybrid orbitals will give sigma bonding. Hybrid orbitals will accommodate lone pair. So to say hybridization, consider sigma bond and lone pair. Okay, since no lone pair, leave it. So 3 sigma bonds are there. So 3 sigma bonds, how to write? 3 sigma bonds we have written. You give this for s orbital, you give this for p orbital. Therefore, hybridization is sp2. So 3 sigma bonds, in this 1 you give for s. Why we have to give 1 for s? Because s orbital is only 1. And the remaining you give for p, because p is 3 orbitals possible. P subshell will have 3 orbitals. So remaining 2 you give for p. Therefore, sp2 hybridization. So that we can say in this nitrogen, what hybridization possible means sp2 hybridization. So one s orbital and 2 p orbitals intermix each other to give 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals. This will be pure p orbital. This will be pure p orbital. So that for nitrogen, we will take hybrid orbitals we will take. Okay. So for nitrogen, what hybridization possible means sp2 hybridization possible, that will give 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals. One p orbital has not gone for intermixing, that is pure p orbital. Okay. Now nitrogen valency shell is having 5 electrons. That 5 electrons how to fill means 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here in order to make lone pair. Okay. Now we will give the bonding. We will give the bonding here. This is one bond. This is one bond. Okay. Now this nitrogen oxygen bond. This nitrogen oxygen bond is this. Nitrogen oxygen bond is this. Okay. This bond is a normal bond. This bond is normal bond. Okay. Regarding this oxygen, we'll see. Regarding this N and oxygen, between these two, one sigma bond and one pi bond. Okay. Now we will give sigma bond. We will give. We are giving sigma bond. Then we will give pi bond. We will give. Okay. Then we will give a pi bond. This is a pi bond. Pi bond is formed between pure orbitals. Here pi bond is formed between this p orbital and this p orbital. Okay. Next we will give dative bond. We will give. We will give dative bond. That dative bond we are giving like this. Okay. Dative bond we are given like this. So it is the hybridization about this HNO4. Sorry. In HNO4 peroxy linkage, regarding peroxy linkage, we got an idea. Now we will take the compound H2SO5. In this H2SO5, what about peroxide is there or not? How to know it? That we will see. So to know whether peroxy linkage is there or not, first you find oxidation number of this sulfur, because sulfur can show variable oxidation number. Sir, how do we know that the given atom will show, the given atom comes under variable oxidation numbers or single oxidation number? How do we know it? Suppose we are saying we are taking one element from the periodic table. Whether that element will exhibit single oxidation number or variable oxidation numbers, how to say? By knowing, by seeing the element. Okay, for that, in the periodic table, group 1A, alkali metals will show single oxidation number +1. Next, group 2A, alkaline earth metals will show single oxidation number +2. Next, fluorine, F, capital F, fluorine can show single oxidation number -1. Remaining all can show variable oxidation numbers. Sir, we will take hydrogen here. We will take hydrogen here. This hydrogen can show what oxidation numbers? Can hydrogen show variable oxidation numbers? Can hydrogen show variable oxidation numbers? Of course. Hydrogen can show +1 as well as -1. Hydrogen can show +1 oxidation number and -1 oxidation number. -1 is possible only in ionic hydrides. Which are ionic hydrides? Alkali metal hydrides, alkaline earth metal hydrides, aluminum hydride. In this, hydrogen oxidation number is -1. In the ionic hydrides, hydrogen oxidation number is -1. Alkali metal hydrides, lithium hydride, sodium hydride, potassium hydride, rubidium hydride, cesium hydride. Here hydrogen oxidation number is -1. Alkaline earth metal hydrides, calcium hydride, strontium hydride, barium hydride. In this place hydrogen oxidation number is -1. In aluminum hydride, hydrogen oxidation number is -1. In the rest of the places, hydrogen oxidation number in the compound is +1. Sorry. So here this hydrogen is not in ionic hydride, therefore it is +1. Oxygen only we are doubt. Oxygen is whether oxide or peroxide or what we want to know it. Therefore oxygen is doubt. Sulfur is, I said that all the elements can show variable oxidation numbers except what? Alkali metals, alkaline earth metals, fluorine. Rest of the elements are showing variable oxidation numbers. Sir, aluminum will show +3. Aluminum will show +3. Other than +3, not possible. So sulfur can show variable oxidation numbers. So first we will find sulfur oxidation number. We will find it from that we will come to know whether peroxide is there or not. Okay. So oxidation number of sulfur we will find it. H2SO5 we have taken 2 times hydrogen, 1 time sulfur, 5 times oxygen. 5 times oxygen, net is 0. Hydrogen oxidation number +1, sulfur oxidation number we have to find. Oxygen is -2 equal to 0. Sulfur oxidation number comes as +8. Sulfur oxidation number comes as +8 as per this pen work. As per this pen work, we have got +8. Sir, sulfur group number is 6A group. Sulfur comes under 6A group. So its maximum oxidation number is +6. Sulfur group number is 60A. So its maximum oxidation number is +6. But here on calculation, it is not experiment. By calculation by us is +8. Therefore, this calculation says that this out of 5 oxygens, some are peroxides or some are oxides. So to know how many oxygens are oxides and how many oxygens are peroxides, take sulfur oxidation number, its maximum value. Take oxidation number of sulfur as its maximum value. So we will write hydrogen +1 we will write, sulfur oxidation number we will write +6, its maximum value we have taken in order to know how many peroxides are there. And out of 5 oxygens, some are peroxides. For peroxides, oxygen is having -1 oxidation number. Some are oxides. For oxides, oxygen oxidation number is -2. Now this sum of all the oxidation numbers of all the atoms in the compound is 0. So now we have to know this value, this question mark and this question mark, we want to know it. By trial and error method we will do it. One possibility, if we consider one peroxy linkage, here 2 oxygen atoms, here 3 oxygen atoms, totally 5 atoms, 5 oxygen atoms. Trial and error method, that's all. One peroxy linkage, if you take, one peroxy linkage contains 2 oxygen atoms. Out of 5, 2 oxygens are peroxide, remaining 3 here. As per this trial and error method, are you getting this sum is equal to 0 or not, you see? Sir, Another way is peroxy linkage is supposed to, then 4 oxygens are having -1 oxidation number. So out of 5, 4 oxygens are having -1 oxidation number. Remaining 1 oxygen is having -2 oxidation number. It is another way. So trial and error method means only 2 ways possible. Other ways not there. All the 5 oxygens are not peroxides. That is true. Okay. Therefore, here trial and error method says the first possibility. So we will leave the second possibility. We will leave it. Therefore, here 2 we will take. Here 3 we will take. So it indicates one peroxy linkage is present. One peroxy linkage is present in H2SO5. One peroxy linkage is present. Sorry, okay. So now we will write H2SO5 structure. We will write sulfur. In this, we have written sulfur. We have written. Okay, one peroxy linkage we will write. O single bond O we have written. Out of 5, 2 oxygens are over. Remaining 3 oxygens we have written. And 2 hydrogens are there. That hydrogens we have to give bond with which one, that we have to understand. The experiment says H2SO5 is a dibasic. H2SO5 is a dibasic, and the experimental analysis says that all the oxy acids of sulfur are dibasic. Experiment says that all the oxy acids of sulfur is dibasic. Oxy acids of sulfur, all the oxy acids of sulfur is dibasic. Therefore, the 2 hydrogens present as the 2 hydrogens bonding with oxygen atoms only. So 2 hydrogens bonding with oxygen atoms only means one possibility is this. One possibility is this one. Sir. What is another possibility? That we'll see. One possibility we have given like this. We will go for another possibility. We'll go. Now, another possibility is this one. Another possibility is this one. Okay. We have given another possibility. So the 2 hydrogens, the 2 hydrogens are making bonding with the oxygens. Here 1 nitrogen with oxygen, 1 nitrogen with the peroxy linkage. Okay. Now, which do you say correct? Number 1 do you say correct, or number 2 do you say correct? Which do you say correct? 1 or 2? Hydrogens, 2 hydrogens are there in the H2SO5. The 2 possibilities we have given. Which shall we say correct? Which do you expect? First one is correct, do you say, with respect to hydrogens? Or second one is correct with respect to hydrogens? What do you say? Sir. Now, if we take first one is correct, in first one, how the bonding will be there? This oxygen will make 2 bonds, isn't it? One bond here, another bond here. So another bond will be like this. So it will become triangle, no? So how the stability will be there, you think? So from here, triangle not possible. For this oxygen, 2 bonds over. For this oxygen, 2 bonds. One bond is here, another bond is here. So it is not triangle. It is not triangle, but it is triangle. Therefore, which is correct do you expect? One is correct or 2 is correct? What is your expectation? Do you say 1 is correct or 2 is correct? Sorry. Shall we see what is the experimental result? Okay. You are saying 2 is correct. Even experiment also says same. Okay. Experiment also says this one only. So what you said? You said 2 is correct. The even experiment also says same. Okay. Then we will leave about this one. We need not consider about this one. Sorry. Now we will say remaining, we will say, okay, sulfur group number